history is unfolding before our eyes. For the first time, three African nations, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, have jointly decided to break away from one of the world's most controversial institutions, the International Criminal Court. This joint communique announces their immediate withdrawal from the Rome Statute, a decision shaking the global stage and questioning the true sovereignty of African states. In this video, we'll break down why the AES is turning its back on the ICC, what this means for international justice, Africa, and the world. Stay until the end to grasp the full picture, share your opinion, and make your voice heard. If you believe Africa must shape its own destiny, like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to support our work. Your participation fuels this conversation. After this introduction, let's dive straight into the official communiqué that triggered this geopolitical shockwave.
Communiqué conjoint
of the AES Confederation regarding the withdrawal from the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. Burkina Faso, the Republic of Mali, and the Republic of Niger had each sovereignly ratified the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court, ICC, respectively on April 16, 2004, August 16, 2000 and April 11, 2002. Since their accession to the Rome Statute, the three countries have cooperated with the ICC, not only on the basis of the relevant provisions of the statute, but also on the basis of agreements and memoranda of understanding concerning the conditions for the establishment and operation of the ICC on their territories. However, over time, they have observed that this jurisdiction has turned into an instrument of neo-colonial repression in the service of imperialism, thus becoming a global example of selective justice. Indeed, the ICC has proven unable to address and prosecute confirmed cases of war crimes, crimes against humanity, genocide and aggression, while it has shown an inexplicable, puzzling and complacent silence towards the perpetrators of such crimes. It has relentlessly targeted certain actors who do not belong to the closed circle of beneficiaries of institutionalized international impunity, including in violation of its own statute. In view of this situation, the governments of Burkina Faso, the Republic of Mali, and the Republic of Niger, forming the Confederation of Sahel States, AES, hereby inform the confederal public opinion and the international community of their sovereign decision to withdraw from the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court with immediate effect. This decision is part of the declared will of the AES member states to fully assert their sovereignty. The AES member states have decided to resort to endogenous mechanisms for the consolidation of peace and justice, while reaffirming their commitment to promoting and protecting human rights in accordance with their societal values, and to combating all forms of impunity. The states of the AES Confederation, while expressing their gratitude to the United Nations and its member states, also reaffirm their commitment to continue cooperating in other appropriate frameworks for the promotion and protection of human rights, and for the respect of state sovereignty. Done in Bamako on September 22, 2025. Signed, General Assimi Goïta, President of the Transition, Head of State of the Republic of Mali, President of the Confederation of Sahel States, AES.
The communiqué of the Sahel States Confederation marks a historic rupture. For the first time in decades, three African countries, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, have jointly decided to withdraw from the International Criminal Court. This act is far from trivial. It challenges the international legal order born after the Cold War. Created in 1998, the ICC was meant to represent universal justice in the face of mass atrocities. Yet from the outset, many voices, especially African ones, denounced a biased institution. Of the ICC's first 31 indictments, 30 targeted Africans, while equally serious crimes committed elsewhere escaped its reach entirely. Let's step back for a moment. The Rome Statute was adopted in 1998 and entered into force in 2002. Mali ratified it in 2000, Niger in 2002, and Burkina Faso in 2004. At that time, hopes were immense, finally ending impunity for the gravest crimes. But over the years, those hopes faded. Several high-profile cases revealed a glaring imbalance. African leaders prosecuted on one side, while major powers appeared untouchable on the other. This sense of injustice fueled mistrust, then rupture. Since 2022, the Sahel has been undergoing an accelerated transformation. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have tightened their ties, formed the AES, and distanced themselves from certain historic military alliances, notably with France. Their withdrawal from the ICC fits squarely within this drive to reclaim sovereignty, building homegrown mechanisms for peace and justice. They are not alone either. Kenya, the Philippines, Russia, and even the United States have refused or contested the court's jurisdiction. The AES decision therefore resonates in a global context where the idea of impartial international justice appears increasingly fragile. The recurring criticisms of the ICC are well known: slow and selective justice, an almost exclusive focus on Africa, an inability to handle cases involving Western powers, and persistent suspicions of political manipulation. For Africa, the stakes are double. On one hand, it is a step toward judicial autonomy, creating African courts capable of prosecuting the gravest crimes in line with the continent's values, procedures, and realities. On the other hand, there is a risk. Without the ICC, some fear a zone of impunity and weaker human rights protection. The question is not merely legal but deeply political and symbolic. This withdrawal raises several essential questions. Should Africa build its own truly independent and sovereign criminal court? Does leaving the ICC strengthen sovereignty or weaken the defense of human rights? Can international justice ever be neutral in a world still ruled by power dynamics? And finally, what role should the UN and African regional organizations play in shaping this new judicial landscape? These questions are crucial to understanding whether the AES's decision marks a liberating step or a risky gamble. This communiqué is not just an administrative text. It is the symbol of a geopolitical turning point that could redefine Africa's place in the global order. By taking this decision, the AES opens a heated debate on the future of international justice and on the ability of African peoples to write their own rules. Share your opinion in the comments, because your insights will fuel an indispensable exchange on the future of justice in Africa and in the world. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger withdrawing from the Rome Statute is more than a legal step. It's a powerful symbol of emancipation and geopolitical realignment. History may remember this date as the moment when the AES firmly asserted its judicial sovereignty. But this move also raises serious questions about the future of human rights and universal justice. What do you think? Share your view in the comments, like this video if it brought you insight, and subscribe to stay tuned for our analyses on Africa and the world. Together we can keep this debate alive and write a new chapter in Africa's story.